I've done all of Brighton.
Hello there, you loose units, and welcome back to another episode of Spicy Boy Reviews. I'm, of course, your host, Andrew Iles. Hope you've been looking after yourselves, looking after each other, pulling your heads in and all that jazz. Welcome back to another episode. Today we're going to tackle our first Disney film. We haven't done that yet, so fuck it, let's get into it. Today's film is none other than the origin story of Cruella. Estella is a young and clever orphan homeless girl. Ticking two boxes for Disney there, will make her the protagonist. She's determined to make a name for herself in the fashion world and befriends a pair of thieves as they steal their way through a 70s Spotify playlist. However, when Estella befriends fashion legend Baroness von Hell Bad Person, she embraces her wicked side and discovers her origins in Cruella Begins. And that is the synopsis for Cruella. That's right, it's directed by Craig Gillespie, who last directed, I think, was I, Tonya, starring Margot Robbie, which is a very good film based on a true story, and Lars and the Real Girl, which, if you haven't seen it, do so. It's a cute little indie film starring Ryan Gosling and a sex doll. I kid you not. Produced by an absolute shitload of people. If you look it up on IMDb, everyone had a hand in making this come to life, but most notably, our OG Cruella, Glenn Close, puts her name towards it. When I think of Cruella, I don't think of the original cartoon at all. I think, of course, of Glenn Close, because she made the character her own, and most notably remembered for, obviously, in the 1996 live-action film of 101 Dalmatians, as well as its sequel in 2000. She is Cruella through and through. Every time you think of Cruella, you think of her. I'm pretty sure I'm not the only one there on that. But here, we get the young Cruella, played by Emma Stone, one of Hollywood's absolute sweethearts, and she is perfect in it. She's fucking phenomenal. Of course she is. She's Emma Stone. Everything she's in, she's amazing. She's really good. Her comedy is on point, as always. She's a funny girl. But of course, she tackles the heavier moments beautifully. You know, she's silly enough for the funny stuff, but also has the chops for the heartfelt stuff. When I first saw the trailer to Cruella, I was like, oh, okay, so Joker was a big hit for Warner Brothers. Disney wants a piece of the money pie right here, and they've gone in their back catalogue and brought out one of their most infamous bad guys and had an origin story there. Of course, like all origin movies now, they explain everything about their past. Fucking everything. Why does she hate Dalmatians? Because they did something bad to her. How did she get her name? Little bit of split personality. A fucking car she drove. Mashed them together, that's her name. How did she get her look? Well, she was born with it. It wasn't a stylistic choice, it just happened. And that's my biggest gripe about all these choices. They aren't choices by the character at all. They just happen to her. The story just thrusted on her and she goes, well, I guess I'm that now. I guess I'm this. I guess I'm called that. Or look this way. There were no stylistic or lifestyle choices by the character of Cruella, and I didn't like that. It sort of drives me up the wall. It just happens to her. And that's the exact same gripe I had with the Han Solo origin movie that came out. You know, how did he get his gun? How did he get his name? Why does he not trust people? Down to the T, and it annoyed the shit out of me. Chewbacca? Well, I'm not going to be saying that. I'll have to come up with a nickname for you. Really? You had to explain that? Lame! However, all that aside, I have to admit, I somewhat really enjoyed this film. It was quite entertaining. It's really funny. The slapstick gags made me laugh out loud the whole way through. The acting is great, of course. The casting is perfect here. I couldn't imagine anyone else playing these roles. They're on point. Not only Emma Stone, who obviously is carrying the film as young Cruella, she's phenomenal in this, she's really good, but also Emma Thompson, who plays our antagonist here, the Baroness. She is phenomenal. She steals every fucking scene she's in. Well, of course she does. She's Emma Thompson. She is perfect in this role. She is so good, so evil. She's someone you love to hate. I loved her mannerisms. I loved her little snarky remarks, her narcissism. She's just someone you love to hate, the perfect villain. And then we get villain versus villainess. Cruella antagonizes the Baroness through the whole film with fun little heists. She goes full viral marketing with her fashion, and she crashes all of the Baroness's public appearance. And she goes full fucking 70s punk rock here, and I loved it. And if kids are watching this film, I feel that we're going to have an influx of emo punk rockers in the next 10 years, and I'm fucking totally okay with that. Enough with this light, fluffy, bubbly, pink garbage that, like, it has to be fun and fluffy and light for kids' entertainment. Fuck that shit. Let's go dark like this film does. Let's go back to kids' films of the 80s. Cruella is like, you know, the perfect bad guy, and the character really plays it up in here, played by Emma Stone. She's like the Tekashi 6ix9ine of the 70s here. Everyone loves a villain. The camera work is beautiful. It's absolutely stunning. I have to admit, I can't give it enough praise. We get some really amazing sweeping shots, mixed with a couple of handheld scenes that were really captivating. I loved, and every shot is beautifully framed. It's stunning. The DOP work is phenomenal. Ultimately, the film is based in the fashion world during the 60s and 70s, and it really shows here. See, period pieces are really hard to nail, and when you see Disney on it, you think, oh god, they're going to make it like really kid-friendly and blah, 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 and just Google a couple of images from that era and go, that's it. But they don't. This is really good. It felt like the world of London during the 70s. Not that I've ever been there. I don't time travel, but it just looked perfect. It had the feel about it, and of course the music helps that as well. And in saying that about the music, like all movies post-Deadpool, the soundtrack has to be a Spotify playlist put on shuffle. And here we get a 60s and 70s remix of the such. And you'd think it'd be an APRA nightmare trying to get the rights to this. But then you remember, it is a Disney film and they probably own every fucking song in this film. The reason it didn't bother me, like it does in other films, like Suicide Squad is just like a mismatch of Spotify playlists, but in this one it's 60s and 70s. The reason it didn't bother me is because I loved every fucking song in this movie. Every song was like, oh, I like that one. Ooh, I love this one. Ooh, good choice there. Except for one Supertramp song I didn't like, because I fucking hate Supertramp. If this film was a pitch, it'd be, hey, let's do Joker, but in the world of Devil Wears Prada. But also, they sprinkle a little Gangs of New York in there for tension between our two characters. The film is a little long, I have to admit. It clocks in a little over 2 hours, and I was getting a little restless towards the end, like, all right, let's move it on, which it's fine, still a captivating, entertaining movie. But I don't see kids under 10 sort of sitting through it, if you will. They might get a bit restless after a while. However, you know, 10 upwards will probably really, really enjoy this film, especially for the darkness, which I really appreciated. Now, it is an origin story, and obviously you know that going in, but it touches on Cruella not necessarily becoming a bad guy or evil. She didn't start out as a perfect person by any stretch of the imagination, and then things happened to her and made her evil. No. It touches on that the evil, or at least a disgruntled person, was deep within her from day one, and that's kind of explained why as well. And a few key moments and experiences bring that out into her, and she chooses to go down that path and stuff, which I really appreciated. It is a descent, of course, being an origin story of an evil, probably the most evil person in the Disney back catalogue, but it's not a Walter White scenario, which I liked. All in all, this film is fun. Okay, it's really fun, it's entertaining, it's dark in all the right ways, which I loved. It's beautifully shot, but most importantly, it's funny. It's really funny. Me and my fiance were laughing out loud throughout the whole film with the slapstick humour and the snarky remarks. It was really good. And the acting is superb. The script is quite nice too. Again, a little long at times, but it will keep you entertained purely because the actors are 100%. They're on point here. It's really good. Yes, I didn't expect to really like this film. I didn't love it by any stretch of the imagination, but I found it really entertaining and enjoyed the 2 hours of watching it. So yeah, see it. It's really good. I'm not a big fan of live action remakes or retellings or reboots of the Disney films, but this one I did quite enjoy, so thumbs up there. Anyway guys, write down below what is your favourite Disney film, or say Disney live action remake or spin-off. By God, they're doing a heap of them now. And as always, give this episode a like if you could. Your love and support we super appreciate here at Spicy Boy Reviews. Hit that subscribe icon and notification, because we've got more spicy content coming out by the week. And as always, kids, stay spooky.